Happy New Year. Bit early, but there you go. What's everyone drinking? Hey, Dusty, Pam, Kevin.
Dusty's drinking fizzy.
Fizzy.
Magnus.
Classy.
Wine.
Kevin's drinking White Claw.
Wine cooler.
Nice. I've got bottles of beer that I didn't drink yesterday. Is there anything I've got left over? Paulana, German Weiss beer. Cheers, Kevin.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Last episode of the year. It's going to be a good episode. It's been a great year for music. A lot of good records. Let's just do the housekeeping. What happened there?
It's down there, right? Somewhere.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Can't say it, though. There you go. Hey, Rachel's here.
Nice.
Tina's here.
Yay.
There you go.
An ex-Pittsburgh person, Rachel, represent.
Thank you, so representing.
Yeah.
It's a Pittsburgh special tonight, right?
Yinzers only.
Yinzer special.
Yinzer special. There we go.
Nice.
All right. Should we get going? As usual, we've got 5 or maybe more great records to talk about. I'm excited for everyone's picks as usual. Let's get going. I'm going to kick off with my first pick. It's new. Came out this year, kind of towards the end of the year. Swedish supergroup. Swedish D-beat in the traditional style. Everyone loves this shit. It's Bill Chamberlain.
Every Swedish band a supergroup.
We'll get to this in a second when I go through.
They all recorded in Susie's basement.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Apparently, this is Bill. I think Bill said it's his favorite record of the year. So there you go.
Around.
Verdict.
Oh, nice.
The Rat Race on Phobia Records from the Czech Republic. It's their second record. I mean, all I've got to do with this is tell you who's in the band and what bands they play in or have played in, and you'll know exactly what it sounds like, and we can move on to Dusty's pick. So it's like, yeah, it's Yallo from Dischange and Dysphere and No Security. Meanwhile, Totalitar and Creekshot, Calais from War Collapse and Three-Way Come, Kenko from Meanwhile and Dischange and Explorator, and Andreas from War Collapse, Three-Way Come and Explorator. So it's like,
nice.
That's what it sounds like, you know.
Yeah.
There you go. It's pretty good. I don't know. I kind of dabble with this stuff, and it's like only so much of it I can kind of take, you know, in a week or a year. But it's a good record. It's better than their first one. Luke from yeah, there you go.
Dissober.
When Dissober French? Correct me if I'm wrong. No. Finnish. Swedish. Yeah. There you go. I bet you want to be
ish. Yeah. Definitely an ish.
His wife is in the chat. Elise is here. Yeah.
Woo. There you go. Hey.
I've not heard that one yet, but they have one before that, right?
That's right. This is their second LP. Similar style. Like I said.
I want it.
Nice.
It'll turn up soon. I'm sure. So if you like Swedish D-beat and you can't get enough of it, you haven't got enough Swedish D-beat in your collection.
Nice.
Definitely.
They said Swedish, but kind of 90s US. Somebody
maybe a little bit. Not too much, maybe a little bit. A splash of 90s US here and there.
Cool.
There you go. Verdict.
I want it.
The Rat Race. That's my first pick.
Especially if Bill said it's great. Because Bill's taste in music is amazing.
Bill did say, I saw him say it in the group. It's probably his favorite record or LP of this year. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Then we go in my way.
We're going your way.
Cool. All right. So
your way.
With this being reissued recently. I thought we could talk about
Ooh,
this U.S. hardcore monster.
Nice.
there you go.
Nice.
SSD Control. Kids will have their say. This is not the reissue. This is the original.
OG, very
There you
nice.
go.
In the shrink.
Actual.
Mm.
You can see the shrink there. You can see the reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a flex there.
Well,
Yeah,
this,
right.
this was played once by Terry from Canada. He played it once when he got it back in 1983 or whenever. He was like, thought it was
He
kind of
didn't like
mid.
it.
I ended up with it. So
Terry from Canada, if you're watching, thanks a lot.
yes. So
Terry's the best.
shout out to Terry. So I have the poster behind me. I got that in a
I saw that.
store in Lancaster that was selling the reissue. And if you got the reissue, you got that poster.
Cool.
Was it Angry Young and Poor?
No, it was right down the street from Angry Young and Poor. I did go to Angry Young and Poor as well. But I'm too old for there. There's nothing much for me. You know what I mean? I can't buy like
But you
creepers.
said it's only been played once by Terry, so you haven't actually been listening to that this week.
Well, I listened to my other copy.
What are you listening to?
Okay.
What has Terry been listening to in 1980?
Yeah, in 1983.
So the first thing about this, though, is the iconic cover.
Yep.
The Boston punk scene storming the Capitol. And the name, the kids will have their say. I always thought this was like hardcore's anthem, like how the hippie movement had Buffalo Springfields For What It's Worth, and Teddy Boys had Eddie Cochran's Come On Everybody. Now hardcore had its anthem with The Kids Will Have Their Say. It's lightning fast like a lot of the other Boston hardcore bands, but the guitar is like way thicker. So it's like the same speed as like Jerry's Kids or FUs or any of the stuff off This Is Boston, Not LA, but it's like the heaviness of like Aerosmith, you know what I mean, on the guitar. Like there really wasn't any other hardcore bands that really had that heavy of a guitar sound.
Right.
And that sound, of course, went on to influence grunge, which mixed, 70s hard rock with punk, so Al's guitar sound was a huge influence on the grunge bands. You could see all those bands had SSD shirts, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Soundgarden.
I can't believe you said SSD and Aerosmith in the same sentence.
They kind of went full on Aerosmith though, like a few records later, though, right?
Well, yeah, the next LPs out. I mean, they have an EP after this that's in the hardcore punk style.
Yeah.
Get it away, but then the next two are Aerosmith, AC/DC style rock.
Yeah.
But they're not as well remembered. But yeah, it says Kids Will Have Their Say. One of the all-time best hardcore records.
Nice.
I guess everyone's like super happy that it finally got like a proper reissue, right? It's been bootlegged a bunch of times.
So the one I had before this was like some kind of Russian bootleg or something.
Right.
I have some bootleg of it. I don't know who put it out, but
Terry from Canada.
Fine, but I haven't heard the reissue yet. I'm sure it's
Phil Brick Recordings.
Yes. Yeah, I got to pick it up. It made it here, but it was like it was gone in a flash. Yeah. So hopefully it's going to get repressed, right? I heard.
They just did.
No, I mean again, like a second pressing of this.
A second of this round.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad it's available for people to listen to. I mean,
right.
I guess everybody's just been listening to it off YouTube, right? And up until now, or if they had like some shitty bootleg like we would have had or whatever.
That I had, yeah.
Or
even though just like saw them when they played.
Tina said she saw them on the How We Rock tour, right? There you go.
Nice.
I guess there's that Power compilation, which is all messed up, right? In like like non-chronological order and stuff, right?
Yeah, that was something that Tang did. Tang Records did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of confusing because that was most people's introduction to the band. I feel in the 90s was that Tang cassette.
Yes.
That's how I heard them originally, was Power.
Right. Yeah, and it's all out of sync, right? All out of like chronological order and stuff, right?
But yeah, this is the proper way to hear them. Hear this and then go from there.
Yeah. Cool.
Can you guys? My connection's weird. Can you guys see me, hear me? Good.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. See you and hear you. You're not frozen.
Nope.
All right. Cool.
You're fine. All right.
I'll do. This came out this year. I don't know if it's been done recently because it's been out for a minute, but it's one of my favorite records of the year. Is the Abism record. I don't know if it's been done on the show before. I assume
first time.
Cool.
I don't think so.
This record is awesome. Abism from New York.
Abism from New York.
Come back.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Talk State did it. So it's got killer packaging. Everything's screen printed. There's the poster. I think it has a member of Crazy Spirit or something. Not that it really matters because regardless, it's a ripping record. It's not quite like, it's not straight D beat. It's like varying forms of hardcore, but there is some D beat, some straight hardcore, female or femme like Latina vocals or in Spanish. It is killer. I've not seen them, but I have some friends that saw them in New York and said they kill it live. But it's one of my favorite records of the year. I've listened to it like over and over again, just it's earworm. There's some like mid-pace kind of stompers that roll, that's fast TV one. But yeah, it's one of my favorite out this year. So it's like end of the year, everyone's
What label?
Toxic State, yeah.
Toxic State.
Yeah. But it's it's
they
great.
put out good shit.
But like when I first got it, I played it a million times, then kind of set it aside. And then when I was going through everyone's, like end of the year type stuff, I was like, oh yeah, this is it's definitely one of my top records of the year. So yeah, it's great.
Is that their only record?
Sorry?
Is that their only one?
I think they have a demo out and maybe some other tour tape, but I think that's their only LP or any vinyl that they put out. So because
I've never heard of them, but I want to check them out.
It's great.
Toxic State have a pretty good track record, man. They put out the Toskos LP too, right?
Yeah, which I haven't got a copy yet, but that is killer. They did the Stigmatism one, which is a ripper. It's like modern day, like agnostic front type stuff. And then it's I don't know. Yeah, they put out a bunch of good records this year. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, so nice.
There's a Chilean connection in that.
Oh yeah.
Where are they from, Kev?
I don't know where they're all from, or if there's transplants in from wherever, but New York City.
It is New York.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice. First time on the show. It's a great pick.
Sweet.
Beautiful. All right. Pam, what you got for us? What you got? Let's go your way.
I don't know if this has ever been on the show before. I think if it was a long time ago. But everybody fucking always does Pittsburgh bands, always get Pittsburgh bands. So I thought I would do.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. Don't move here, comp.
Oh,
classic.
Yeah.
Classic and awesome. So Heavy Discipline, Living World, Loose Nukes, Speed Plans, Peace Talks, Ratnip, Necroheads, Detainees, Invalid. Yeah. So.
Wow.
It's just a fucking great record.
Yeah. That came out, last year, 2 years ago?
I think it came out like 2 years ago, didn't it, Dusty?
Yeah, I guess a year and a half.
Yeah.
Year and a half.
It says 2021 for the artwork on the front.
Yeah. So, I think it was a year and a half ago. And we had that in the store for about 1 day.
Yeah.
That lasted about 1 day. It was probably a weekend. It probably lasted. And I think by Sunday morning it was gone. I think we put it out Friday, and we put, I mean, you know, John, we put out hundreds of copies.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a snapshot of like the Pittsburgh scene from a couple years ago, because I'm sure like half or three.
So many of these bands are still playing, and they have put out like Peace Talks put out the LP.
Right.
Fucking Ratnip's still around. Necroheads, I think, is still around. Speed Plans, Heavy Discipline just put out something.
Yes.
Yeah, the Speed Plans record.
Fucking No Time.
Yeah.
I think there's only maybe like 3 that are no longer bands.
Yeah. Which
they should be. But yeah, this is like a good snapshot of that time. It was right after COVID or during COVID. So it was nice. I had first heard of Necroheads when they played my birthday party. It's the only time I didn't know who they were. And I actually was like, when Jimmy was like, "Go get them to play," I was like, "A stupid name, stupid band name." And they were so good. I didn't like Necroheads at all, but yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, they were.
And young, talented kids. And then now, like I said, all of these, like half of these bands just put out new shit, like LPs for the first time. Not 7 inches, but you know, LPs or EPs, and the artwork is great. And really, don't move here. That is actually, please don't.
Yeah.
Damn,
Please don't come to Skull Fest and then move here and then get depressed and then talk shit on Pittsburgh. That's all.
Yeah.
If you come here and you love it, stay.
That is like a mighty strong fucking lineup for like one city. That's a lot of great bands.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, like
Bunch of good
the
bands
Braddock
there, yeah.
kids are amazing, man. You know, but yeah, this is the back of it.
That's a
Like
lot.
how
More
we call
fun.
it, the kids on that record are in their early 30s. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, and I'm in my 50s, so to me, they're
Yeah.
kids.
Anything under 40 is a kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Necroheads, they're young. Living World, a lot of those kids were young. Or Ratnip, younger. But yeah, like the Atom bands and stuff like that, they're all in their 30s. And I've been in 20,000 bands that are great too.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
But yeah, it's a nice snapshot of Pittsburgh punk. I was going to do that or Iron City punk one, the comps, but I didn't want to go that old.
That one's better.
That just is not nice.
Well, you know.
Not nice.
I think that's one that
Are you on both?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was never on any of the Iron City ones. That was like, I mean, the Iron City.
It was before your time.
The second one came out when I was around, but no, I wasn't. Is there 3?
Yeah, I believe 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I was around for the
I
second
only
and
know
the third
2,
one.
but that doesn't mean there isn't a third.
Yeah, I was around for the second and the third, but I wasn't on them. But yeah. Word.
nice.
Cool.
I think that's one that I don't know if that made it over here, but it's something
I
I
think
definitely.
John did like 300 or 500, and it was gone. Like I know Sorry State had them and a couple, but like I don't think it really got like.
Right.
I think it sold out pretty quick.
Right.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got this from Duster. I don't know how he pulled this shit off, but it was a birthday present. Thank you, Duster.
Bill said he got it from Dusty's store too. There you go.
Nice.
All right.
But yeah, because Cruel Noise put it out.
Nice. Beautiful. All right. It's kind of like, I don't know.
Your turn.
It's this. My second pick is like completely tied in with my first pick. That's just the way it went. And I kind of got it around the same time. So I'm running with this pick. This is like, I want to say this is like the golden age of like disc bands or DB bands. I want to say like early 90s, the golden age.
All the shit that I love, though. I still love that. A lot of people don't. It's not popular, but I love it.
Dischange.
Nice.
It's the demos, right? They did 2 demos. And it's weird. I kind of got this and that at the same time. So it's like, this is like 2 of the guys from Verdict when they were really kids, right? I guess they were in their 20s, like when they did this stuff. And really, this is like the first wave of like, you know, the DB or disc bands kind of thing. So it's like 1 demo from 89 and then 1 demo from 90. The demo from 89, which is side 1, sucks. It's like, it really does. It's like, it's just, the production's awful. Like the songs aren't developed. It's just like it's horrible. But side 2 is fucking incredible. Like the jump they made from like in that 1 year is astounding. And this is really like what you wanted for. This side 2 demo, incredible. It's like really like the cream of the crop of that like era of that Swedish deep, absolutely killer.
That's the thing about like that time too. Like, I know I did have a lot of OG copies too, but it was like the bands always sounded better live, and the recordings back then sucked fucking balls. Like half the time you're like, this doesn't sound anything like the show. And that's why sometimes when they're like, we put the demos together, I'm like, I don't know if I want to get that or not.
Yeah, I think
it might not sound good. It's a waste of my money.
Right, but this is worth it for side 2, absolutely. And for maniacs who need like everything, But yeah, I guess like side 2, like I think 3 of the tracks were on that the split 7-inch with CDFL.
Oh yeah,
TFDL from Japan. So they did get put out on a record like back in the day, like 3 of the songs. Yeah, good stuff.
Is that new?
This is I think it's pretty new. This record. Let me check. I had it.
Who put it out?
Nuclear Fear Records, who I know nothing about. 2017 it came out actually. So it's it's getting old already. But if you're a maniac who loves like this Swedish stuff, this is like definitely worth it for the side 2 demo. Dischange. I want to say too, I was going to say it when I was talking about the Verdict record, sometimes like the vocals can really make or break this style of music for me. Either they're too like gruff or they're too like high pitched, or I think like this guy, Yok, has the best voice in the game for this like style of music. He's just like this perfect, like desperate cries, let's call them.
Yeah, that's why you don't like Dysphere or Wolf Brigade.
I like,
right?
It's a little bit too gruff.
You like Wolfpack.
I like Wolfpack, but
who's saying, but yeah. And you don't like Dysphere. I heard that. I saw that post the other day. I was like, I like
the earlier stuff, but
the first couple records are great.
Yeah, then they changed things up a little bit, right? Old Thomas there from out the gates coming in, and
I like the drummer is like a fancy twirling sticks drummer. I laughed my ass off, and they wore like light colored jeans and white tennis shoes. Like when nobody else like came over, white t-shirts. You're like, oh, you're Swedish. You're like so white.
Yeah, I didn't go to
when they played Pointless.
I didn't go to that show when they played here, but then they came to the house afterwards for a party, and I think there were more people at the house party than there were at the show, and they played a rubato. But yeah, it was. I heard it was good, but yeah, I don't know.
I saw them Pointless. I didn't actually see them here.
They played rubato back in the day too, I think. Yeah.
Was that with Thomas on vocals? Or
yeah.
It
was. Didn't that one record come out on Relapse? Is that one that came, the last one they did or something?
Oh man, what's the last one?
I don't remember, but yeah.
One I was listening to the other day was like Misanthropic.
I thought Havoc's been putting them all out. Havoc's been doing the reissues.
Havoc's doing the reissues, but we're like talking about like the later.
That last one they did when they were touring, yeah. I think, I don't know, but yeah. But yeah.
Well, they were touring like Greenie was the one driving them around, so it was Havoc.
Yeah, the old ones, yeah. Havoc just reissued like.
No, I mean when they were touring.
Yes, Everyday Slaughter, right? Is the one that's just been reissued, right?
Yeah,
is it? Maybe.
Yeah, Dischange were kind of the first band to like copy Discharge completely. Like every single thing was like Discharge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before them, there was like Varukers and Disorder, but those bands were just like Discharge.
Also, like Disaster too.
Disaster. They were early on as well, copying. Yeah, those were kind of the first two. I don't know who was first.
That Disaster record is like, or I mean, like this stuff is like straight. Like, I mean, it rules, but yeah.
I mean, those are two of the best bands that do it. Disaster and Dischange.
Yeah, for me, like Dischange and Meanwhile, man, I love Meanwhile. It's just like I love the tone.
Meanwhile rips. Yeah, they're fucking awesome.
It's just like there's something about it that really appeals to me.
Are they the same band?
Same band with just a name change. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
never
I wonder
saw
if there's any bands that ever copied their fucking later shit.
Oh, there's a couple.
Fucking
Bands that copied later Discharge.
There's a few. Yeah,
yeah.
There was recently This Close
this close. Yeah.
from Scotland, right?
from Scotland. So there's a whole scene for it, Pam. It's called Grave New Beat. Okay, so there's a whole scene that's just
No.
Some of that later SDS
Yes,
stuff they copied it too, but
They did. He started doing the high pitched vocals a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Final Bombs from Japan have been doing it for decades. Like
Oh yeah. I have some of
used
their
to
records.
be Last Bomb.
Last Bomb, but they were good then, and then they changed to. It's a bit controversial because
I like both. I like the Grave New Beat stuff.
Mhm.
I like it better than I like Grave New World. I know that.
Well, it's more like Price of Silence era, though. Really, right? It's not exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Right.
I hate that record. We
Let's
played with when Eel toured Scotland. We played with This Close. It was sick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's close. Yeah.
I booked them here with Active Minds.
Oh wow.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's funny. Active Minds did the EP. This is getting pathetic, like in like 1990.
Right,
or
but
whatever.
they were on tour with, this
Yeah.
Discharge clone band. But I mean, to be fair, their Active Minds had a lot to say about a lot of different things. If they stuck with it with every band, they would only play to themselves. Two brothers. That's what they are. Active Minds are two brothers.
Two brothers, yeah.
A guitar and drummer, no bass player. And the guitar player things. But yeah, they were cool. Both bands were super cool. And so sticking with, since we're talking about Active Minds from the UK, sticking with the UK, got kind of loosely trying to connect it there. I'll do one more classic.
Oh, I know what that is.
The weirder stuff that I'll do, but this is my favorite record of the early 70s British punk stuff.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Generation X. So this, along with the Buzzcocks debut, were the first of the British punk wave to kind of have a more pop-driven side. Though I would say they owe more to the Ramones than the Buzzcocks, in that both bands, both Generation X and the Ramones, are basically playing oldies at 100 miles per hour and have the real romantic lyrics. There's also similarities with the Ramones had Sheena is a punk rocker. Generation X had 100 Punks Rule. So they both had songs celebrating punk culture and its crazy fans, its crazy fandom. They had Ramones had Rock and Roll High School, Rock and Roll Radio. Generation X had Ready, Steady, Go. Both odes to
50s rock and roll, right?
Yeah, ode to 50s rock and roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everybody kind of knows what this sounds like, and what Billy Idol, of course, went on to be.
My crush.
But yeah, Billy Idol's great.
Billy Idol and Eddie Van Halen. Fucking yeah. Snarl. Yeah.
The guitar player, Bob Andrews, great guitarist. There was this myth that like a lot of the first generation punk groups couldn't play, but if you listen to the debuts of this or the Nevermind the Bollocks, there's great guitar playing on both, and same with the Damn debut.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know where the British press got that these bands couldn't play their guitars.
That was a real thing for me when I first started getting into punk, and I kept reading that you don't have to. I listened to a record like that or the Damned, or I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't play this. This is fucking really good musicianship on these records.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it has the parallels with the Ramones on the cover. see the band looking really punky with Billy Idol's spiked hair and the fishnet t-shirts, kind of looking at you like they're looking up at you from an alley, kind of like the Clockwork Orange scene where Alex and his droogs look over the belching old wino, you know. So yeah, classic punk cover. Great record, and that'll be my last of the, we'll call them sober picks before we get it. But I realize this isn't the most
last of the records that you didn't listen to this week.
I did listen to this one. Yeah,
is that one of Terry's records too?
No, this was mine from when I first got it.
Nice.
I kept it.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
I had a Billy Idol poster.
He's great, man. I love him.
And I lived in Virginia, and they had a roller coaster called the Rebel Yell at King's Dominion. It was like a gigantic wooden roller coaster.
Wow.
And I loved it. I was like, Billy Idol, Rebel Yell.
Man, I love, like, not to derail Generation X, but like White Wedding and like Rebel Yell are so good.
Yeah.
I love the first Billy Idol.
Dancing with Myself, motherfucker.
That one too. Yeah. Talking about the guitar playing on those Billy Idol records is insane. I forget the name.
Wasn't that like Steve Stevens or somebody else?
I think so. It was. It's insane guitar playing if you listen, because I'm always listening to like Billy's voice and stuff. But if you listen to the guitar playing, it's fucking amazing.
The Rebel Yell roller coaster in Virginia was probably a different Rebel Yell though than the Billy Idol reference.
No shit. But when you're 12 and you're going up the steep hill, yeah, you're crying more.
Yeah, man. Rachel says the White Wedding video was too scary.
I was tall enough to ride those rides.
Too scary for Rachel, she says, the White Wedding video.
I'll switch my pickup and keep it in the UK. Hillary and I were doing a puzzle the other day, one of Sned's puzzles, Amorphous Pieces or whatever, his like distro thing. And I realized I went to grab and jam the record, and I realized I didn't have it anymore because I sold it or whatever here and there. So Hillary, my wife, got it for me for Christmas again. But yeah, classic. I was like, wait, I want to jam this. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't have it anymore. So this is one of the ones that they all got repressed recently. So this is one of the represses, which sounds great and it's awesome. I mean, the Blurg originals are sick, but this it sounds great and
cool,
good quality. And this is the first one that the first Subhumans record I ever got into when I was
a lot of those represses. They sound great.
Cool.
Yeah, it's nice. I feel, the first Subhumans I ever heard was this record. I feel for a lot of people, maybe this is the first one they heard. But it's got all the classic songs they still play. I've seen them a bunch of times. Every time they still play, they kill it. They're all super nice. Like, they're all super nice dudes. They're still doing a DIY. And I mean, like, this is, so I've been jamming that again every so often, go through a, Subhumans phase or whatever. But it was when we were doing the record. So yeah.
Yeah, all those, like that first run of 7-inch EPs, for me, they were like on a par with like Discharge in the fact that you couldn't wait until the next one came out. Yeah. And it's like they just knocked it out of the park, like again and again and again and again with all those EPs, like.
Yeah, the 12-inch that has the 4 EPs.
Mine was Time Flies and Rats. That was the first.
Okay.
EP.
Yes, EP LPs. Yeah, that I have that one. It's great. Which is my favorite. But this one. This is their first LP, right? I know from '82, but I think it's their first actual LP. But yeah, it is so good.
Yeah, because EP/LP is a collection, so
yeah. But I feel that's like also a good like starter punk LP when you first getting into punk, and then you hear, and you make your way, and they're one of the first ones that are still that still hold up, that you can listen to from when you're like 15 to 40 or 50, it still is an amazing record. So yeah,
it's unbelievable when you think about it. It's like they were so young.
Humans and GBH still.
What'd you say?
GBA is still Subhumans and GBA
Yeah.
still touring, still fucking playing, still put on amazing music. It's because they never stopped. You know what I mean? They're not doing reunions. Like those are sometimes, but they just never stop touring and playing.
Yeah, Subhumans
amazing.
are killer every time.
And their catalog, they don't play the same set night after night.
Yeah.
Like when Costa Christ toured with them, I went. They didn't play the same set.
Yeah.
It was different every night. It was the best fucking thing ever. And I've been watching them since I was like 14. And they're just still one of the best live bands ever.
Yeah, they're great. They kill it.
Ever.
Going back to that.
And they're so nice. They are really, really nice.
Going back to like the musicianship thing too, it's like, okay, it's wild. Like the everything is just insane. Like the musicianship on those records.
It's killer.
And
I mean, same thing with like the Citizen Fish, and there are other bands too that are killer. So
yeah.
Great
band. Yeah, like you said, you put that on now, it still sounds like fresh and vital. Like now, it's amazing. Great band.
Yeah, it didn't age like some other 80s bands.
Right.
It ain't.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed.
Pam.
What's that dog? Is that the barky mean dog? Is that the dog?
Mm-hmm. It's my guard.
Okay, so
Who guards the records? Don't you?
Mike said I should have done this last time I was on. And so I gave it another listen. And he's right.
Oh.
So, Midnight Resurrector.
Nice. Love that band.
Yeah.
Hated True Sounds.
Beautiful.
Fucking Japanese thrash band, really, right? Like that's
pretty
how
much, yeah.
Thrash, but melodic, like I don't know how to describe them actually. Hardcore-y too.
It's like kind of a little bit crossover, but it's still very much like in like Japanese hardcore, but with like a kind of crossover edge to it. Great band from this area.
Great singer, great players.
Who put that out?
This is actually, I got this from Jimmy.
Yes.
When he went to Japan, he brought this back, and I was like, fuck that. I don't like thrash. And then I listened to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't you say before we, you don't like thrash?
That is a little different. It's like
this is not American thrash.
I'm
not copying the 80s. And not copying the 80s.
It's actually, people are sort of, Jesse's like, it sounds like Master of Puppets and Age of Quarrel. I don't know, maybe the Japanese Midnight.
Maybe a little bit like Age of Quarrel.
Yeah, a little bit, but like they've got their own thing.
But not Metallica. No.
They've got.
I like the dude's voice.
He's amazing
too.
His name's Kid.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He lives near me. But yeah, he's there.
And I couldn't find a lot out about them, so that's why I don't have much to say, except for that they fucking rule. I really couldn't find
the guitar player is from Technocracy. If anyone knows the band Technocracy, also similar kind of band, like crossover. When the name's a giveaway, right? Technocracy is the name of the band. So yeah.
It's good. It's got it's like a.
Yeah, I'm actually.
I got this.
I'm unfamiliar with that. I'll have to jam that. That's cool. I'm not.
They have another full length album on HD Fact 2, which is a CD only. They have a 7-inch also on HD Fact as well.
I couldn't even find them on like YouTube and shit. Like there's some live stuff, but it's like 3 songs. Like it's hard to find them even on YouTube.
What year?
But
what year is that? 80s or when?
It's like, I feel like it's about 7.
I don't know. It's Laboratory Records.
It's Laboratory Records. They only pressed like 300 on vinyl. It's already like rare. It's already
right.
It's already expensive in the used market over here.
In Blueprint, I can't fucking read it. Hold on.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 years old. I want to say maybe a bit more. Great band.
I don't know if it's that old. Hold on. 2000. Oh fuck yeah, you're right, Mike. God damn it.
Time flies.
2015.
There you go. Yeah.
Spooky Bank Records.
Yeah.
Captured Records and Laboratory Records. So I guess like 3 fucking.
Yeah, it's basically like kind of self-released kind of thing. Some friends helped them out, put it out on vinyl. You know, I don't think there's not even a CD of it, as far as I know. Like no CD.
This one's called Hated Truth Sounds.
Hated Truth, that's it.
And it's really fucking good. If you want to borrow it, Kevin, you may.
Nice, thank you. I appreciate that.
You'll love it.
Yeah,
you will.
I never would have even heard of them if I hadn't gotten it from Jim.
I feel like Annihilation Time played with them in Osaka.
Okay.
Well, that's probably why he gave me the record.
Yeah, that's probably where he got it from. That show. In fact, I'm pretty sure because I went to that show. And I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't like giving Jimmy credit for much, but that's good that he.
Well, when I first saw it, I didn't see the Resurrector part. I was like, Midnight, right on. Like, why'd you get that in Japan? And I was like, oh, you fucker.
Yeah. Great band.
And then he was like, it's thrash. I'm like, fuck thrash.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it. Well, plus I didn't have a turntable for a while, so you couldn't really find it. Like I was basically listening to my records on YouTube and shit, just so I could fucking hear them. And you can't find this on YouTube. And there was maybe, like I said, some live shows that were bad recordings. So, but it's actually really, really good.
Cool.
And I think they are still playing.
They haven't broken up. They're still around, but they're not playing shows at the moment for a reason that I'll tell you about later. Let's put it
Why don't you just tell me now?
Because it's it's one of those things. Yeah. That's
off the record.
Off the record, yeah.
He doesn't want to talk shit on bands on the internet.
It's not. It's a bit different, but that's a great pick. Great pick. Great band. What do you want? Japanese band from me or 77 punk? What do you want next?
Go with
Japanese.
77 punk.
All right. This is a band that people don't really talk about. I don't know. I think they've been to the States. They might have even played Chaos in Texas. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Maybe. It's a great band. They haven't put any albums out. Just like a ton of 7-inch singles. And this is a collection of their first 5. Also on HG Fact. We're just talking about HG Fact. This band, the Slowmotions.
Oh yeah.
Who are a Japanese band who kind of plays 77 punk, right?
That cover is horrible.
I have a poster of this in my kitchen. I'll have you know.
Yeah, don't make me not buy it. I can't even look at that and take it serious.
Oh, okay, how about the back? You'll like this. It's better. There you go. That's much better.
It's kind of craft work.
I think it's the blue.
It is a little
red.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
well, they're kind of going for a new wave kind of thing. I know that's what they were going for, is kind of a new wave kind of look. Because
they did play Chaos and Teos. I saw them.
They did, right?
I was going to say, I think I was there the year they played as well.
Did they have this guy on vocals? Because they've had 3 different vocalists in their career. And
the
I
guy
like them.
Split apart by a rainbow?
Yeah.
I bet it was this guy who was the vocalist when they came to practice. I think so. Very great live band. But yeah, so let me back up a little bit with this band, because their first 2 or 3 singles, they had a different singer, right? Mm-hmm. Back in the day. And that guy was the singer from Acid and Liberate. So he has a way more Japanese hardcore punk vocal style, right? And the music's way rawer. And then they got this guy in that Pam loves. They've got this guy in on the vocals, and he's more of he's a different style. Let's put it that way. More of a new
split by a rainbow
vocals. More high pitched kind of new wavy vocals. They're still a great band. The records are still great, but I think they've been forgotten a little bit. And I think they still are a great band. They're still active. But I used to love going to see this band. I used to see them all the time back in early 2000s.
Are they from Osaka, or were they from?
They're a Tokyo band, but they played out a lot around that time.
I don't remember. I know I saw them at Chaos and Teos. I was hammered most of the time. I don't remember if it was Markman backing them up or what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the question in the chat.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wonder what happened to the other three.
I don't know.
Maybe they couldn't get in, like, visa problems.
I feel they've come to the States more.
Well, he asked if that was the band. He didn't say that was what happened.
Gotcha.
No, when they were at Chaos and Chaos, it was the full band.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of lineup changes, but like the drummer is the only guy that's been in the band since the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Izumi, and that guy Izumi used to play in that band Advance.
Okay.
Everyone loves Advance. They're one of the best like late 90s like Tokyo hardcore bands. Ken Prank put out their split with Jabba, right, on Prank Records. Yeah, but this is like totally like you start off with like raw 77 style punk, and then it kind of they get more like new wavy as they kind of go through. But very good band. I like great artwork as well.
How old is that? Like what era?
Well, the singles are like early 2000s, and the CD of this came out on HG Fact in 2004.
Okay, so they're playing shit from back then, but they're not from back then.
Right. They're still active, but Billy and like Shari, I guess, like put this out on Partners in Crime. This is on Partners in Crime. Billy,
okay.
Billy from Tragedy and Shari, their label, Partners in Crime. So, yeah, they did the vinyl for this.
Why do they name themselves that? It makes you think they're going to be super slow and dumb and boring. Slow motion.
They're great. It's super. Yeah, it's great 77 style. They rip. But
yeah. It's funny because they always pretty much played with like the Japanese hardcore bands for the most part. So it's pretty interesting. Very different style, for that scene.
Pam, your negativity makes me laugh. I keep trying to hold back my laughing.
I know you made me.
I mean, I was so offended by that cover. I just couldn't get over it. I'm so sorry. I just couldn't get over that cover.
Well, wait till you see this cover.
All right. top this, Dusty.
Okay, so I wish I had this hanging in my kitchen mic like you have, but yes. For the next three, I'm going to go into some journey into the unknown with some rare private press pieces. First of which being the pride or maybe the shame of the Steel City. I'm not sure, but Pittsburgh's Bad Connection.
Nice.
Okay. You guys see their stars there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like this guy, Ed Smith. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
What are we looking at here?
Thank God you didn't do the Clarks.
That's their logo. You see the B and the C, and then the Bad Connection in the middle.
Nice.
But yeah, this is
taking care of Bad Connection.
This is raw, crude, bar rockin' heavy metal that is so inept that it kind of ends up sounding like Kill by Death punk.
Wow.
But yes,
like a Bad Connection.
Private piece on the band's own label. And the band.
What label is that, Dusty?
What's that?
What label is that? Bad Connection Records?
Star Records. Like, remember how there's stars? Damn.
That's sick. Where are they from? McKees Rocks?
Duquesne.
Coriopolis.
Duquesne, nice.
So these, yeah, but they have a theme. It's called Bad Connection Theme, and it's really short, so I'll recite it to you here. It's we are Bad Connection, and we like to rock. Hold up. We are Bad Connection, and we rock all the time.
Nice.
All the time.
It's kind of their mission statement there, if you can. It's right there.
Nice.
And that pretty much sums up the band. But yeah, you can't hear it on. It's not on YouTube. when I first found it, it was completely unknown. In the years since then, it has popped up on Discogs or eBay, but only a couple of times.
You can't hear it on DVE.
Maybe back in the day, they played Bad Connection, but no, you can't hear it now. So that's one that borders. That's almost totally unknown. Yeah, a lot of these would be ones that even punk collectors aren't super.
Do you like them, Dusty? Do they rock?
Pam, they rock all the time. Let me reference their
An earworm of Bad Connection and just start singing it at work every day.
But yeah, it is.
We rock all the time, Bad Connection.
It almost reminds me of the more minimal and raw new wave of British heavy metal.
Nice
is what it's kind of like. But it kind of has a punk edge as well. But yeah, Bad Connection from Pittsburgh.
Wow. I wonder if they've been like on any of these kind of comps that are out there, you know, like there's a lot of them, right? Like obscure metal and obscure hard rock.
If they are, I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
So I know they have this and they have a 45 as well, which I have.
Wow.
Cool. Yeah, I've never heard that.
Me neither.
I'll have to come to the shop and check it out.
I'll bring it to the store, yeah.
Nice.
It's hitting.
Well, I'll switch it up because you said new wave of British heavy metal, and it falls in the same kind of line. But this record came out this year. I picked a couple records that are like that I've listened to the most this year, and this one is it's up there. They're from Sweden. It's called Century. It is awesome. It's two guys that do all the stuff. The one guy does drums, guitar, and bass, and the other one does guitar, vocals, and bass. It rips. It sounds like I guess like it sounds like new wave of British heavy metal, or like I guess the new like term is like new wave of traditional heavy metal that's out there now. All these like it's not quite retro throwback, but I guess the closest thing would be like a sped up, modernized version of like either like Heavy Load or like Gotham City or something like that, like the 80s Swedish bands. But like it's done, I guess Electric Assault Records out of New York put it out. But it is done in like total DIY. Like the two dudes did everything. They recorded it themselves. The one dude did all the artwork. It's, you know, like, and it's not like super produced. It has like that kind of like rough around the edges, new wave of British heavy metal sound. And it's fucking awesome. Like all the songs are rippers. It's great. Like, I don't know if you're into, you know, like traditional or like new wave of British heavy metal. It's like, have you ever heard it? It's Dust. Have you guys heard it yet or no?
Okay. So this one is like Luke from Bombardment.
Yeah, but I want to.
Luke from Bombardment has been like, you've got to check this out. But I haven't got around to listening to it yet. So
it's awesome. Like it's really, really good. And then they have a 7-inch single too. It's one of the songs off this and the cover. I forget what the cover song is. It might be, I can't remember what it is, but I got it. I forget where I got it from, Richmond, but yeah, it's a great record. It's killer, and it's like just lo-fi enough. It's not super produced like a lot of, you know, like newer traditional heavy metal bands. It's like it's great. So yeah,
nice.
Highly recommend. I've been jamming it a bunch. So yeah. Is
it like on the cheesy side or the heavy side?
It's not like it's not straight like cheesy, like slow, you know, like there's no songs, which I love, about like talking about heavy metal, which are great, but yeah, there's none of those songs that are like you know, we rock heavy metal stuff, which I still think rip, but yeah, it's all just straightforward. It's like sped up, like faster, like punk speed heavy metal stuff. So yeah, it's good.
Definitely, Electric Assault is a very, like as you said, like a very DIY. They put out a lot of punk and hardcore records too, right? Not only. I
think so. I forget what else they put out. I know they're out in New York City and put out some stuff, but yeah, the vocals, and it doesn't have like the super high vocals either. It's like mid range stuff, double tracked. Like some of the vocals do sound like I don't know if you're familiar. Yeah, like the heavy load stuff, but it is like double tracked, like
Gotcha. Yeah.
double tracked. Like,
So it's not like really slow and like 30-minute long songs.
no, it's super ripping quick songs, and yeah, I think the whole album there's like 8 songs and it's done in half an hour, so that's pretty good for metal. Yeah.
Metallian, that's another band that I like.
Metallian from Montreal. Yeah,
Yep.
we play with them a bunch of times. They're awesome. Yeah, they rip. But it doesn't have his. He does like the whole like. That dude's vocals are insane. Like he can do almost like the Judas Priest style vocals. Like it's crazy. But
Ian.
Yeah, Ian. Yeah, but no, this is like mid-range track kind of vocals. But
Nice.
Yeah. Highly recommended. It's great.
That's a great pick. Beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know if people realize that about the Metallian name. Metallian is Metal Ian. That's why
I never thought about that.
Me neither. Even when he said Ian, it didn't click.
You guys might remember.
I think Medallion.
Their first fan base kind of outside of Canada was in Pittsburgh. They were always coming down here. Battalion was.
Well, Kyle, who used to live here, put out that tape, and then Mikey put out that record. So yeah. They're so good, and they're even like it's. I think Ian, like over the years, he's the only original member, and there's like a bunch of people, but yeah, they're great.
Nice.
Well, he named it after himself, so yeah.
And Ian does the voice. If you ever watch the movie Phobia, the Canadian kind of heavy metal comedy, when the guy comes back from having a surgery, he gets a high voice, and Ian does the voice where he sings. They're doing karaoke, and they're singing "More Than a Feeling" by fucking Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Ian's voice is who they use on that. If you ever
love Boston.
Also,
love Boston.
It's a great movie too.
Like my guilty pleasure.
Yeah. It's a ridiculous movie.
I love Boston. Yeah, I mean that would have to be a whole nother show. I'd have to pick Boston's first album, but not sidetrack it.
Now it's in my head. I can't fucking stop thinking about it.
All right, Pam, what's your next pick? That's a great pick. What's your next pick, Pam?
Now I have to change my next pick.
All right.
I got Boston in my head. So this is a band that isn't my normal style that I like at all. And I will say that the record is good, but they're a much better live band. It's kind of like Dwarvsy sounding. It's a Pittsburgh local band. And maybe a little bit of New Bomb Turks. But the band is Thundervest.
What a name. Damn. Thundervest.
Yes. And they broke up, I think, right before the pandemic or something, but I think now they're getting back together again and they're playing shows and stuff. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the Doors. I don't hate them, but like it's not normally my style of music, but I love these guys. And this record, like I said, it's good, but it doesn't do them justice. They are an amazing live band. Which is like pretty much any band in the 80s anyways. But yeah, Thundervest, next round. Pittsburgh locals, punk rock with an AW. Raw. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've covered New Bomb Turks at some point in time. Like it is very like garage rocky New Bomb Turks.
Covered the Dwarves. They did cover the Dwarves for those, those Halloween shows.
Yeah.
They did the Dwarves. They also did the Cars. What was the one where they had he covered AC/DC at that
I forget.
cover show at Brillo Box where Jimmy wore the Nixon mask and Carousel played. Can't remember what Carousel played.
Probably Kiss or something.
Yeah, probably. But anyways, yeah, these guys rock. I met them and they played some show with a band I didn't like. And I asked them to play my birthday party. And it was nice because it was like a totally different type of band. And then they started playing out more with other bands besides the Cheats. So they were playing with Mower. They played with 6 Speed Kill a lot. So yeah, awesome. Just some of the songs are probably not PC, but who gives a fuck?
Well, the
Penis
dwarves
Pizza Party. I mean, come on.
the dwarves aren't really PC either. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're not. Most bands, actually, I'll tell you a little secret. Most bands are not PC at all. They pretend to be, but then they're whores on the road. Just saying. You're all fakers. Men are pigs. And I love you all, but you're pigs. Pigs.
Real talk here.
All right. So that's my other Pittsburgh.
Beautiful. I love the name. Love the name of the band.
Thundervest.
Thundervest. All right. I don't know about any of you lot. Compilation LPs. How often do you pull them out? You know. I mean, I've got a ton, and I feel like they get like overlooked a little bit, right? I don't think I've shown any compilation LPs on this show yet. I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's just me, but I feel like I don't pull them out as much as I should, right? So I don't know about you guys.
I feel like in punk and hardcore, there's a couple dozen compilations that are
I just did a compilation album tonight.
Yeah, I mean, aside from
that's what I'm leading up to. Yeah.
And then the rest just kind of get swept under the rug, aren't as remembered.
It's a tough one.
There's like all the good. I mean,
nobody does a lot of splits either.
True.
Compilation albums are good. Like if you're having like people over the house and you don't know what to play, and you just throw on like, I don't know, like a Killed by Death, or whatever, or like a bunch of different, or I mean, even like true compilation ones, like Russia Bombs, Finland, or something like that. Or there's like a bunch of good ones, but yeah, I don't pull them out as much as
they're coming.
Yeah, exactly. I
mean, but there's so many good ones. I mean, there's hundreds, maybe even thousands. There are, I think so. But I just feel like I don't pull them out as much. So I've been going through mine a little bit over the Christmas break. This is definitely considered a classic, I want to say. Actually, I've got like a twofer, but I like one better than the other. So I'm not going to talk about one. I'm going to talk about the other one. UK, like 77, raw punk, literally raw punk. Raw Records.
Oh.
Raw Deal.
Right on.
This is the first one, right? And I think I'm not sure, but I feel like people say that like this is the classic one, right? The first run of like Raw Records, like 7-inch singles. They've got the Users on here, the Blood Clots, the Sick Things, the Killjoys again. It's like, yeah, I feel like people say like this is like the like Raw Records like one to get, but I think the second one is better. I played them both a lot this week, and I think this one is way better. So it's like this one, right? Oh no, it's more from Raw. This one, the other one, 77. This one is 78. But man, this has like so many classics on it. Fucking The Users, Sick of You, Johnny Won't Get to Heaven, The Killjoys, New Religion by Some Chicken, which is fucking amazing. It's My Life by the Gorillaz is amazing. Naive by the Killjoys is incredible. Showbiz by the Downliner Sect is one of my favorites too. I know it's almost like a flawless like compilation from like 77, 78, like underground.
Shit, you've done comps, the Knuckle ones, and the Women of the Night.
Yes, I have.
Right.
I guess I was more kind of thinking of like older ones. I was probably thinking like I didn't really go back to the 80s and stuff, right? Yeah, you're right there.
Right, because those other comps are new comps of that older music.
True. Yeah.
But that's an older comp from back then.
Yeah. This is like a reissue that Damaged Goods did in like 2003. I mean, I don't think even the original is like hard to get. But
I think comps for me, like there's always at least like, I don't know, 5 or 6 songs that I fucking hate. And then the rest of them I like. So that's why I don't usually like playing comps all the time, because it's like the songs are interspersed instead of being at the end or at the one side.
True. I was going to say, like, is there like such a thing as a perfect like compilation album with like no bad?
This one is perfect. Perfect. I'll find a way to get you a copy. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, even this one has.
There's not one bad song on it.
I mean, even this one, like, I'm not going to say it has like any bad songs, but it's like the good ones are so good that like the other ones,
but they make the other ones not so good. Yeah.
So I don't know, just a cool like era of punk for me, like this, like raw records, like the more like underground side of like 77 punk. So much, good stuff.
Yeah, I know some of this
mixtapes.
I know some of this stuff on
mixtape.
Sorry, Pam, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh.
No, I just said we used to do mixtapes back then. And that was like your comp, like make them for your friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I know some of the raw record stuff, like Users and Killjoys, but I'm not familiar with
great
a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, that'd be cool to check out.
Yeah, it's just a real fun listen, even though like there are some songs that like aren't classics, like the Killjoys and the Users.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking comp,
This is Boston, not LA, is a great comp.
Yeah.
Said in the chat.
Talking comps, you got to mention the Peace War comp.
I was going to say that one, actually.
Yeah.
For sure. The Kill by Death comps, of course.
Some of them.
There's
it kind of gets a little dodgy, right, as we kind of go through.
Yeah, just too many.
Around 7 or 8, they start to. They go off.
I mean, they're kind of dredging the canal a little bit, right? As we go through, getting stuck for material,
But there's still so much great stuff out there that, like, this next one, for instance, is something that could have been comped on a Kill by Death, which hasn't. This is another one that when I initially found it, it was totally unknown. You couldn't find any info on it online. And there still isn't much about it available, but this is Lion's Eye.
I have no idea what that. Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah.
That's again very new wavy looking.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah, like the black and the white. Yeah.
I love this. I love the design.
How old is that? What year?
It's from 1982.
There you go.
Yeah,
that checks out.
But yeah, I love this. I don't know, abstract, I guess you would call it, art style. But yeah, this is kind of similar to Miami's Screamin' Sneakers.
Oh, awesome!
Oh man, that was a thing that I didn't know about that was introduced to me on the show.
It's great. They're great. So as you see the vocal, that's the vocalist there in the center.
Cool.
Then we got this
big hair.
Look at this person beside the singer.
Which one?
What about the mime?
Stripes or the other?
What about the mime next to them?
Where is it? What the fuck?
The dude with the striped shirt looks like a mime.
I thought this was weird. Fucking
Marceau.
Ed Smith. Now I think it's fucking this mime, dude. Is the
I remember those shirts, the flap shirt that the dude has in the back row. Yeah, I remember those.
Which shirt?
Black shirt with a white flap.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I used to have one.
Yeah, he's
with parachute pants, Mike. Did you?
Of course.
But yeah, breaking through Electric Boogaloo, man. Fuck yeah.
This
also
I
want that record right now.
Similar to Screamin' Sneakers, though, also has a girl vocalist. This is a little more off-key and a little more private press amateurish than the Screamin' Sneakers is. But for me, it's great. That works great. The more raw, the better. Unknown. Yeah. It's also.
I have no idea
I've been calling the band Lines, Lines, and the record as Lion's Eye. But I've also found it where the name of the band is called Lion's Eye.
Okay.
So also, the name of the band is questionable, and it's on. There's no record label. It's like super private press. They didn't even mention They didn't even typically on the private press records, they'll make up a record label and logo. This doesn't even have that. It just has the songs, who does them. That's the only info.
And it says Lines 1 on the center label, right?
So I found out what that means. That's Lines I is what they're saying.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been sold 2 or 3 times now online. But yeah, still, this would be something that even hardcore punk collectors wouldn't. The vast majority of them would not be aware of this.
Henry was like, nice one. I guess Henry in the comments is
very cool.
Familiar with this one, but
yeah,
nice.
That's
what style of music?
It's punk rock with some power pop and new wave elements, but overall, I would say it kind of has that kind of has a Kill by Death vibe to it.
That's cool. Yeah,
and you mentioned the Screaming Sneakers, right? Oh, Henry actually has it. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
No, he said
That's
very
awesome. Cool. Is it from the States?
Nobody knows.
Yeah. He said I don't know where it's from.
Nobody knows.
It kind of yeah, there you go. It kind of has Midwest vibes, if I had to guess, but I'm just judging by this guy, like that guy. I'm getting serious Midwest on the other side of the clown not the clown, the mime.
Not with those outfits in the 80s. That wouldn't be Midwest.
Screaming Indiana.
East Coast.
Dude, he's a corn.
I gotta get a drink.
Definitely from the US, though. I think we've got it down.
Yes.
We've narrowed it down.
There you go.
Well, speaking of comps, there's that like Red Snurts comp or whatever from the Midwest that has like the Gizmos on it, and Zero Boys and Jetsons and all that stuff. Which is an awesome comp. Like Gulcher Records that did all the Gizmo stuff and everything. Like that's a great comp too.
I love that Midwest punk new wave stuff.
Dow Jones and the Industrials and stuff. Yeah,
I love and talking about splits, the Dow Jones and Gizmo split is the
Hoosier
classic.
Hysteria is great. Yeah. Cool.
Another classic.
We don't know about that. Did they play shows with Devo?
I don't know. Then that would be like Ohio stuff or something, maybe. Yeah.
Is he asking? Is the person asking if Gizmos played with Devo?
Maybe no. Like
no idea.
Lines 1, right?
I have no info about them. I couldn't say.
Lines I.
Lines
I.
Lines I.
If I had to guess if they played with Devo, I would say no. No,
based on nothing.
Ohio's kind of Midwest.
If they're asking if the Gizmos or Dow Jones play with Devo, that could have been a thing. They could have been an opening act for Devo in the early 80s.
There you go.
Well, I'll segue into this is like the third of the records that came out this year that I really, really like. And they also played in Pittsburgh at the Rock Room, and they were killer. And I think you might have done one of their other records, Mike, a couple episodes ago. They're from Tucson, but the band Class.
Oh, yes. Beautiful,
it's their newest record. They're from Tucson. It had, it had one of when they played, they had that one too, but they played one song live, and I forget which one it was on here, but it was like killer. And I was like, that song you played like third to last, what record's that on? They were like the new one. I was like, cool. And I bought this. So, but yeah, they were really, really good. Like live, it was like slightly out of tune, rough around the edges, but it made it even better. Like, cause it was like power pop, but like also 77, like some of their songs are, like you could say they're like straight power pop, and some are like more just like 76, 77 OG punk stuff. But they were great. It's like total earworm stuff where like a bunch of the songs, like if they were singles,
right,
which I think you said like would be a good single on their own. But yeah, this is their newest record that came out. Feel It put it out, and it's great. I think I like it the best out of all their stuff personally.
Oh, nice. That's good to hear, because I'm like, I've ordered it and it hasn't come yet, and I'm like,
I wanted to go to that and I missed it.
I forget who they played with, but they killed it. It was great, and I realized like the one guitar player also did Rick and His Pigs or whatever, which is also 77 style punk stuff. I like Class better than Rick and His Pigs, but yeah, so they were great live, and I realized I slept on the one bass player's floor 12 years ago in Tucson. I was like, "You look familiar." He's like, "You look familiar too." I was like, "Oh yeah, I stayed on your floor," and we like looked at cactuses the next day or whatever. But yeah, they're great. So I've listened to this record a bunch this year. It's another one of my records of the year. So
that's a great pick, man. When I got this record, I was like so excited about it. Like I was like, I couldn't get the words out fast enough when I was trying to talk about this record. It's like it is like so good. Like that.
That's the one that's like a couple tapes on one record.
It's like two tapes like put onto this one LP, right?
But yeah, this is their newest record that came out this year, and it's killer. It's great. So yeah,
I'm glad you like it, because I'm like, oh man, is it? I'm worried. You know, can they keep it up? Can they top this? And like you've said, like,
and like I like this stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. I want to see them. And then seeing them like solidified, like it made me like the record more, seeing them play it live, because they were, it was killer. So yeah,
it's like that perfect blend of like power pop and 77 punk, but it's like more like 77 punk, I want to say.
Yeah,
it's so good, so good.
There's a couple like straight power pop rippers on that record too that are like maybe like not like the Nerves or like I don't know, like a live like and Groovies or something stuff or something, but I don't know. It's good.
Can't wait to get it. It's on the way. I'm waiting for it to come in. So
cool.
Beautiful.
They made my top 30 live bands, the class.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. I saw your top 30. It was good. Yeah, they were great. Yeah, it was sick.
Nice.
Who else made your top 30? Who made your top 3?
There was 29 others.
Who made your top 3?
Oh, my top 3? I can't remember it exactly, but I think it was Circle Jerks, GBH, and maybe Stevie Nicks.
All the all the old
Maybe Negative Approach beat one of those. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
That's your favorite like live shows of this year?
Yeah, I do a top 30. I think Pam was asking the top 3.
Yeah.
I think top 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Stevie Nicks, huh?
She's great.
Yeah.
She's hit or miss live, actually.
Never seen her.
Not back in the day, but
Recently,
now she is.
Stevie Nicks expert Pam.
Pam with the curveball negativity.
Star Lake, saw her play a lot. She's really nice, but cocaine.
You know her.
No, I worked at Star Lake doing catering. So yeah, she was nice. She wasn't a dick like other people.
Cool.
That's good to hear. All right, Pam, what's it?
Weird with her preferences though, but whatever. So this is a repress that came out this year. They Light in the Attic Records did all the represses, and it took like 4 months for it to come out. But Betty Davis.
Hell yeah.
They say I'm different. And this one is probably, I got them all. Well, not all of them. I got 3 of them, the ones I didn't have. But this is probably my favorite just because of the songs on it.
That's a great record.
Yeah.
Right? Who's a big freak? Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of big freaks. Don't call her no tramp. That's right. Don't call me a tramp. But anyways, they did a really nice job on these. And Maggio did the whatever the write-ups for them.
Mm-hmm.
In all of these, but it came with a huge poster, which is this poster, or maybe this one. And then this is Sweet, as fuck. Light the Attic does like great shit, but this is what she wrote. All of this stuff.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Danielle's like was like a friend of hers in Pittsburgh, but when she lived here, but she also did like what was it, like a movie or something, or a documentary or something about Betty Davis. But anyways, Pittsburgh proud. And it's like fucking piss yellow color though.
Custard yellow.
It was supposed to be purple, and then they ran out of that color and said we can't press that. So the pressing company, like, that's why it got delayed so many times. It's supposed to be orange, but it looks like
I know that
to
color.
me.
Yeah.
But
piss jug.
Really, really, really good. Like, fucking really nice job. I really like their stuff. They're expensive, but I like what they put out.
Yeah,
So.
quality.
And I've been listening to this like at least since I got it in like September, at least like once a week.
So good. So good.
So good. She's so funky,
Yeah,
like
I
dirty, funky.
Yeah.
For the time period, man, like getting banned everywhere. Like, she was fucking amazing and did not get her due.
I was a real late comer to like Betty Davis, and I can't remember who like was like, man. I think I was posting some funk records. They're like, oh, you like funk? And they're like, ever heard of Betty Davis? Like, no. Oh God, you got to check. And I was like, it kind of just blew me away, like how good it was. Like, I couldn't believe it, actually, like how amazing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Gina turned me on, like totally late comer too, and I love funk, but just she didn't get the credit that was due her until she was almost dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and then it's like, oh,
she did die, but it was like that was the resurgence was like what 10 years ago, and then she died.
Right, unbelievable. Anybody, even if you think you don't like funk, check out Betty Davis. It's like just unbelievable stuff.
It's so good.
So good.
It's almost heavy rock at times. It's heavier than funk. It's almost like in the same way that Parliament Funkadelic kind of crosses the line into like it gets such heavy funk that it crosses.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's awesome. It's nasty.
I was also late to Betty Davis.
And this is like she wrote it all. Like, she did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that very often. And she didn't ever compromise.
Yeah.
And
amazing. I think Nasty Girl is my favorite, but it's kind of hard to choose a favorite because they're all amazing. So,
I think this is now my new favorite.
There you go. Yeah, it's hard to choose a favorite, right? They're all so good.
Because this one, there's songs I'll sing when I'm not playing it. You know what I mean? Like, in my head, like the earworms are from this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, I had Nasty Gal Forever. That wasn't one of the ones I got in the new represses. So maybe it's just because these were new to me.
Yeah.
And it sounds good. It's like fucking really nicely done.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Another Pittsburgh connection.
There you go.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right, last round. Man, I've joked about this before. As I advance in years, the 7-inch singles are too much work for
to get up
for an old fella like myself. So I'm all about like the singles comps. If a band I like has a singles comp, I'm all about it. And this band has one, and I've got it quite recently. But this band has been a favorite of mine since like I was like 13, 14. And I still love them just as much today as I did back in the day. Classic band, Girlschool.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they did? That's new?
Hang on. It's pretty new. I think there's been like CDs before. This is like 2018. This one came out. So
I didn't even know that fucking existed.
it's great. It's got like all the singles from 79 to 83 on it, with little blurbs in the gatefold about each single. It's really nicely done. It's nice. It's fucking. Guess who put this together? It's amazing, actually. Mark Brennan from The Business compiled this, or had a hand in it.
Wow.
I guess he works for the company. Maybe it's kind of real gone music. But man, what a run of singles like Take It All Away, Emergency, Nothing to Lose, Race with the Devil, Yeah Right, Please Don't Touch with Motorhead, right? hit and run, come on, let's go. And then it kind of drops off a little bit. Wildlife, 1, 2, 3, 4, rock and roll, 20th Century Boy, like the T-Rex cover. I still like the era, the glammy era of Girlschool. I also really like, but man, what a great fucking band they are. They still are. They just put out a new record, actually. I hadn't heard it, but so good. Girlschool.
Nice.
You know,
I love Girlschool because they weren't like a lot of the girl bands had all the cute girls and shit. And not that they were ugly, but they weren't like super hot, like Runaways and
yeah, I know what you're saying.
not to say that they weren't good, but it was just like they got playtime without being super sexy hot chicks, you know.
Didn't like
Without having to put on underwear.
right. I know what you're saying, but didn't like one of the God, I forgot one of the members of Girlschool like lived with Gay Advert from the adverts like back in the. They shared an apartment, I think. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I think it was either Kim or Kelly. I forget. Someone can let us know in the comments. I forgot. You know what? I'll tell you a funny, quick story. When I was like really young, I was all about like the heavy rock and heavy metal. I had a friend at school who was a punk. His brother was an old school 77 punk. He had all the records and he had all the stuff up to like 82, all the crass stuff, GBH, Exploited. He didn't know anything about heavy metal and I didn't know anything about punk. And it's like, I played him a few records and there was like 4 bands.
That's about a metalhead.
I think I probably, yeah, it's like there was like 4 bands I played him that to him sounded like punk, as I know. And they were Motorhead, of course, Tank, Venom, and Girlschool. He's like, man, this sounds like Vice Squad or like Action Pact or like the Violators. To him, there was almost like not, almost no difference to his ears. A young kid who'd been listening to punk. That was pretty cool. But yeah, there is definitely like a punkish element in the early Girlschool stuff, for sure. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm finally going to get to see Girlschool this summer in Texas.
Nice. I heard they're still really good,
What?
Cool. And
Well, you saw them this year?
I will be seeing them in May. I'll be in Texas seeing them.
Nice.
Take me with you. That's
Hell's
true.
Heroes.
Oh, yeah. It's good fest.
Yeah, me and Adam are going. So, okay,
Yeah.
So my next one, I have another private press rarity here. This one is from the Lehigh Valley. This one is.
Man.
Oh.
At least we know where it's from.
Follow Fashion Monkeys.
I know that record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super rare U.S. hardcore. They made 1,000 of these, and then the band did a brief tour with. I'm not sure if this is how you pronounce it, but Indigesti
From Italy.
Yeah.
Italy.
Wow.
How you pronounce it?
Indigesti, yeah.
Wow. But yeah, this is kind of similar to their fellow Lehigh Valley hardcore band Russian Meat Squats.
You know what? I was sorry to interrupt you, but when you were talking, I was like, man, because in the tape trading days, right? I'd get these tapes, and I was going to say that band reminds me of like the Russian Meat Squats, one of those weird, obscure bands.
They're from the same town.
There you go. Damn.
Same town. Yeah, I'll grab Russian Meat Squats in a second. But yeah, it's similar to that, except where Russian Meat Squats is more like comedy core, like Adrenaline OD or Dayglow Abortions or something. This is similar in sound to the Russian Meat Squats, but this is like conscious hardcore. This is like politically conscious hardcore. Like it's about Reagan's secret war in Central America. It's about animal rights. It's about Quincy Punk style posers that are that they're at war with. They have a lot of anti-poser stuff on here,
Nice.
and it says to link this around with my Generation X pick. They have a song called "D-Generation X," which is about how Billy Idol is a poser. So, but
Wow.
Here is that. I'm not familiar with that record.
yeah, it's
There you go.
What year is it, Dusty?
pretty hard to come by it. I think it's from 1986.
Huh.
So kind of after most of the classic hardcore stuff had already happened.
Right.
But it has an interesting center label here, which says, we follow Fashion Monkeys offer our most heartfelt sympathy to all those who, with the most sincere of hardcore intentions, purchased our humble album and were shocked and greatly discouraged by the absence of the single most significant and fundamental symbol of hardcore, the ever indispensable and precious skull. That's the band apologizing for not having a skull on their record. And they don't really use like it's hardcore, but they don't use really hardcore themes or art. They kind of use weird stuff. And then you look and they don't look like, all right, so I know we're making fun of some of these guys. We had the mime and whatnot, but we got to check out fucking Brian here. All right, check this out. Look at him.
Is that a mustache?
That's a mustache. You can't have that in hardcore, right? Like, they have this guy. He has a beard.
Hey, it was 1986. What are you going to do?
How do we get it here? All right, there we go. Then we have another bearded guy. So these guys.
Look at his hair, though. His hair. Like a pompadour.
Yeah, I'll do a close up of the band, see if we can get
There's a lot of pictures of them like as kids and stuff on there, right? And maybe their family members and stuff.
I think they're kids when they made it. I mean, I think that's them right there. Like they look
a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I mean like babies. I didn't mean like.
Oh, I see the babies. Yeah,
the babies.
Yeah.
And the cover is a fucking ugly, big-headed baby.
But I like the Keller, the pink here.
Nice, yeah.
The Keller.
The pink says hardcore right there. That's all I gotta say. Hardcore.
I love
the first song is called "Hardcore Rules." You can see it there by Brian. Rules. And then there's Brian shredding. But what this is kind of like the Canadian hardcore band YYY. Youth.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. Or kind of like a more, maybe a raw version of early 7 Seconds.
I haven't listened to that literally since about 86, 87, like in the tape trading days. I had it on tapes. But as soon as you showed it, I remembered the name. It just reminded me of like the Russian meat squats. That's hilarious that they're from the same town. Yeah.
I've not heard that.
I've never even heard of them, and I'm from here in that era.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are bands that didn't even play the Electric Banana in Pittsburgh. Huh. You know, they didn't make it. They didn't make it out of the valley.
Most hardcore bands played at like the Sonic Temple and shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a great pick.
More of a punk crowd and a metal crowd of the Banana and
I'm gonna grab that Russian meat squats.
Oh, Dusty, it's already been shown. It's been shown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
That name is so good.
Russian meat squats.
Yeah. Apparently, they love the Meat Men. That's why they got the name.
Squad.
And they cover. It's interesting. They cover the song. They call it Power Plug, but it's really a song by the Stalin. They just cover it. And instead of learning the translation, they just make up their own words.
Jimmy did that too with Eel.
Yeah, so they did that though in 1986.
Nice. It's crazy, right? I mean, these guys were listening to like the Stalin and stuff like back then. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially they were in. I mean, these aren't. You know, we're not talking Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. These were bands that were kind of more in the middle of the state.
In the boonies.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon, it's that tape trading thing again. Going back to the tape trading thing.
It has to be because we didn't hear those bands didn't play here, you know.
Right.
Like it was hard to even hear about bands that weren't like in the United States. So
yeah.
That's also crazy that they
without trading tapes and shit. And right, like you would write to labels to get shit.
Yes.
Back then. Like,
same.
And then become friends with the distributors and shit. So
I had the tail end of that as the young buck here of 40. But yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I definitely grew up in tape trading.
Yeah, me too.
As well.
Yeah, but
so for my last,
go ahead.
It's gonna be metal, and this is a record I always had either on a tape or just listen to like the CD or MP3s, whatever. But my buddy was selling his record collection, and he had an OG copy, which I was stoked on. And I only ever had the first one, so I was stoked to get a copy of this classic. Which fucking rips. Like Slavery Rots Grade 2, and I listened to that forever. And then this one, I mean, Florida, like, classic, you know, like trailblazing death metal stuff. But it also has, like, I mean, the artwork is sick on it. And which I found out, too, which you might know this, but, like, originally Sepultura was going to use that artwork for Beneath Remains. But the record come out first with Obituary on it. So they had to use, like, they use the other, like, artwork, which is also, like, classic of itself. But originally, like, Beneath the Remains was going to have that record cover, but just so because it's, I mean, it just, you know, Obituary, like, it'd be weird if it was like said Sepultura on it.
Wow.
But and I think this is the only record too that one of the dudes from Death played on or whatever. I think it's just this record, but also has like the classic half, which like whenever you see them play, it's like the mosh pit like opens up like or whatever. Like it's one of the best like Obituary songs, and then followed by their like cover of like Celtic Frost, like a good 1-2 punch. So, but yeah, I've always liked this record, and it was awesome to like finally get like a copy of it. So yeah.
H.P. Lovecraft artwork.
Yeah, it was also used for
a book of short stories by Lovecraft.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, but yeah, great record, and
classic.
Stoked to have a copy finally. So yeah,
classic. That's the reissue. I think you said that. It's the recent reissue.
No, this is the original.
Oh, nice, man. Nice.
Yeah, original.
Who was selling their shit?
Logan. You know
really?
Logan at all?
Yes, damn it.
Well, he had mostly like metal and like crust stuff, and you know when you have a kid and don't listen to records anymore, you know. But,
yeah, but I would have snagged up that crust shit.
That's classic. I've been listening to a lot of death metal, man. Not to kind of derail Obituary, but man, Dismember.
Oh yeah, I love Dismember. All the Swedish shit's great too. Yeah, like
I've just been going through like the more recent stuff, and it's all amazing. It kind of blew me away, like how solid like their back catalog is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is it, that HM pedal or whatever it uses?
Michael Whelan, is that the name of the guy that did the art?
The artist, yeah, the guy that did the artwork, I think. Yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
All right, Pam. Last pick of 2023.
Well, this was the replacement for what I was originally going to do, and that's just because of the anniversary yesterday. So,
hell yeah.
Motorhead.
There you go.
Iconic.
Lemmy. Love you, Lemmy. And this is, there's been one or two other Motorheads, and I couldn't remember if No Remorse had been done, but I mean, this is just a classic, and this is the OG copy. In fact, the glue has come undone for on the cover. But yeah, I've been listening to them, of course, like listened to them yesterday and all during Christmas. And for whatever reason, winter has been making me listen to a lot of fucking metal that I have that I kind of just have shelved. So this isn't metal, but this is just a classic. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. And it sounds good. This is an old record. I don't know how I didn't end up destroying it, but yeah.
Chiswick record.
I always got to end up with a fucking classic always.
That's a good
and
way.
I didn't do any new ones because the only new shit that I have has already been done on your show, or I just haven't been listening to it lately. So
there you go.
Yeah. There's so many like the songs on this, like you're just all of them are so good, so fucking good.
Yeah, absolutely. Stone Cold classic.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's a pretty good way to end this final show. As my catchphrase is like, stay clean. It's a good way to finish off with some.
I know, right? I was thinking about that when I looked at it. I was like, stay clean. Oh, but so the original one that I was going to do was Talk Beer.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
That 7-inch is so good.
Ripping.
It's so fucking good. And it doesn't get enough love. And I think female, like this whole band and what they have to go through to fucking put out their music and not be able to show who they are and shit like that. But it's a woman singing, and it's just amazing. It's just so good. I don't believe they live in Morocco anymore. I believe they live somewhere else now.
I think so, yes.
But and they haven't, I don't think they've put anything else out, but they're still a band. So I'm hoping that they will.
I wish they were coming to Pittsburgh, but they're playing New York and like either Philly and Baltimore or DC or something. I know the Baltimore show sold out. There's like they're playing 4 shows.
Oh wow!
On the East Coast next year, and 2 of them already sold out. Yeah, I'd be down.
That's a great Takbir.
Yeah, they're like Philly or Baltimore. Those are close enough.
Yeah.
New York is probably going to be sold out.
The one in DC or Baltimore sold out, I think. But yeah.
Wow.
But like she's like the energy. I don't often like female vocalists because I think they should play instruments. Because in the 80s, it was always, this is my boyfriend's band, I'm just going to sing. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, play an instrument. Metal Mary was one of the few fucking women that played, But yeah, she's powerful, man. She's got fucking pipes and a message. And if you want to, like, you're living that if you're fucking singing the kind of shit that you're singing in a society that she lives in. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and all of them actually are putting themselves on the line.
Right.
To have punk and hardcore grow in that society is fucking amazing. And it's all underground, all completely fucking off, hidden. It's amazing. So yeah.
It's a great record.
Fucking great record.
Takbir.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Snuck in a 6th record there, Pam. Nice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, this was going to be before I just got all blue about Lemmy. This was going to be my first, my first pick.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
But yeah.
All right. That was a great episode. I had so much fun. I've got to just say thanks to everyone who's tuned in over the past year. Thanks to all the guests for coming on, taking out the time. I appreciate it. I'm going to take a week off next week. I deserve it, right?
We deserve it.
I'm going to take a week off. Back on January 12th, 10 p.m. EST. Sarah's back from Consensus Madness.
Awesome.
Love Sarah. Ebro's back from a million bands he's been in over the years. And Jeff Rice. It's a Chicago special. There you go.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go. That's the first episode. We've got a lot of more episodes lined up. So don't forget about us. It's all Friday nights. It's all about what you're listening to. Let's finish up.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Winner.
Happy
Just
New Year.
fucking sit at home on a Friday and listen.
Happy New Year.
Cheers.
Say one.
Happy New Year, motherfuckers. Oh, wait, here's my shirt for anybody. Yeah, there you go.
Pam, everybody.
Cheers. Until next time, stay healthy and stay